What's good, y'all? My name is Darius, and I'm back with the new updated 101 in Warframe. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for any and all updates. Also, I have a Guilded server where all information mentioned here can be found there as well. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into it. This time, we're going to talk about your account level called Mastery Rank, or MR for short. Anyway, what is MR? Well, MR is basically your player account rank. This can determine a lot of things, but can be thought of as what type of content you have access to and what type of weapons you can use. There are more that this can affect, but that's just one of the couple of things that it can do. Anyway, here's a bit of a history lesson behind Mastery Rank, or MR. In the game's infancy, there wasn't really much that it affects except the quests you can do and what weapons you can use as well. Over time, it began to affect more than just a couple of things such as starting skill points or drain for those that don't know. For weapons, more loadout slots, and additional things. So anyway, how do you increase your rank? Well, it's pretty simple. What you're doing right now is giving you mastery experience. You do this by mastering or max ranking. You'll know that it's max rank because it'll have, max right next to the name of the weapon. Weapons, Warframes, Companions, Archwings, Necromech, completing blue mission nodes, completing junctions, and the list goes on and on. If you want to know how close you are to the next rank, just head to the pause menu and hover your cursor over your player icon found in the upper left hand portion of your screen. The bar below your player name and icon is your mastery experience bar. When this bar glows, that means that you can attempt a special rank up mission. All of these are solo and has to be done by you and you alone. Because let's face it, it wouldn't be a test if you was not the only person in your group that isn't pulling your weight and you're never alone. One thing you don't need to worry about is getting more mastery experience and quote unquote losing it by never ranking up. It does carry over into the next rank, but you need to wait 24 hours. That's actual 24 hours, meaning you have to wait a day to attempt the next test. If you fail, you have to wait 24 hours to retest. There are some missions that require having certain weapon types equipped to take the test, however. But if you fail, use that opportunity to level up your weapons, readjust your mods, and practice the test itself. Speaking of, you can practice before taking the real test so you know what you need to do, or if you feel your weapons are not up to snuff for the trials ahead. Just think of it as a driver's test and you will do just fine. Next up, I'm going to explain the benefits of increasing your MR. Naturally, DE encourages us to experiment with all weapons available at the moment. So why would you want to do that? Let me explain a few things why. Quest. You can get certain Warframes, items, weapons, even special vehicles such as Archwings, and your very own personal flagship called a Railgun. In short, you won't be able to do certain quests until you reach a certain Mastery Rank or MR milestone. Extractors. You will have special access to resource drones that you will get resources for you while you do other things. Do note that there are 4 separate types of drones. There are Titan and Prime Titan, Distilled, and Prime Distilled extractors. As you rank up, you can deploy up to 3 drones to any planet that is fully complete. This makes it easier to get more resources when you are away from the game via the Warframe Nexus app you can get from your phone's app store. In other words, if you're out and about and you don't have access to the game at all, you can just download the Warframe Nexus app and you can send drones to whatever planet you want. Also, it'll tell you which type of resources are on each planet, so if there's a resource that you want or that you need to get, you can just send a resource drone there as well. And also another note about the resource drones, since you can deploy up to 3 of them, you can get 1 additional resource drone at Mastery Rank 5, 10, and 15 respectively. Special resource cap. You can increase your daily standing, void trace limit, focus limit, rivet capacity, loadout slots, and additional things. Mod capacity. For every 1 rank you attain, you get 1 additional skill point for your weapons. For example, you are Mastery Rank 10 and you equip a unranked weapon. Your weapon will have 10 free points to use as you see fit. This doesn't include any you get for leveling up your weapon. Again, this is key to having really powerful builds and to be able to use more mods. So in other words, if a person is telling you don't increase your MR, it doesn't do anything, completely ignore them. They're going to keep you weak the entire game. Do not listen to them. I cannot recommend how much you need to increase your mastery rank. Those players have zero clue how to do so. Weapon unlocks. Certain weapons you will have access to once you reach certain ranks. MR 16 is pretty much when you can use everything in the game, but this may change in the future. I may be wrong, but MR 16, or I believe MR 18, is probably the highest you can use any single weapon in the game. These are just some of the things that can benefit you from increasing your mastery rank. There is more, but it's best to experiment and see what works for you and how you want to increase your mastery rank. That's pretty much it for the time being, as there's really no prerequisites for the weapon that you use in these tests. But there are certain weapons that are used that can make the test much easier. But do note to try and use weapons that you feel comfortable using, that you modded completely, because it'll make the test way easier. Also, make sure you practice the test first. You can do so by, when you access the mastery rank icon, it'll be on the pause menu all the way at the top of the list. It'll say mastery rank up test available. When you select that, it will tell you the mastery rank. It'll tell you that you have access to and can ascend your rank. You'll also see an icon in the lower right hand corner of the screen telling you to practice. Trust me when I say it, use that practice, but I guarantee it, there's no downside to using it. It can get you ready for taking the test as well. Anyway, that's all for me for now, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and don't be afraid to let me know if there's anything that I missed out. Also, as a side note, I may have missed a few things about this, but keep in mind that this is for new players. Anyway, until then, I'll catch you guys later.